Hey everyone, I'm here tonight being festive. Uh, we had Christmas this morning with my family, or lunch today. So I'm a little tired. Cooked a few turkeys and ham and all of that good stuff. So anyone who cooks for holidays knows how tiring it is. It was fun day. Um, I didn't really get to do much quail work today, which Saturday is usually my busy quail day. So I guess I'll make up for it tomorrow. I have to do some work on the greenhouse for Christina because she's gonna start seeds this week. So I need to get everything ready for her. And probably next Saturday we'll have her on. We'll talk about that, what we started, and what's our plans for the garden. It because I mean it's coming up fast. Usually first week of February, we have plants in the ground. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for this year. I love those early season tomatoes. And, before it gets real hot and humid down here, I like to have all of our growing established. Um, Kelly was here real early this morning. She hasn't been feeling well the last few days. Yeah, I think that's going around. Lane was sick this week, missed a couple of days of school. So that time of the year, I guess. Down here, like we were high of like 53 today, and I think Tuesday we'll be back in the 70s, upper 70s. So like, oh, that's good for us getting people sick with the temperature fluctuations. And Mason's not feeling well either. Fourth like, Verna. So let's see comments. Yeah, Verna, I will get with you on the Nightbot. I have Nightbot. I don't know what I'm doing with Nightbot. So yeah, Amy, this is not our weather. That's for sure. It's unusually cold for this time of the year, and then Wednesday will be 78 here. So you know that's our weather. Christmas Day will be 78, and I think we have like 70% chance of rain here. So that'll be a fun day. Hey, Dawn, glad you made it. 20 degrees. I like snow. I don't really necessarily care for the cold, but I do like snow. I mean, of course, I'm not going to get snow in 60-degree weather, so I would have to sacrifice and enjoy the cold for some snow. But when we do get below freezing, it's just usually wet, cold, no snow. Got my tea. Mr. Swanson. Mr. Swanson was here before me tonight. Hey, Nikki. Hope you and Brad are doing well. I think it's pretty cold up there where you guys are at in Missouri. Hey, Carrie. Glad you stopped by. Happy Saturday to you. I'll have to touch base with you on your project. I talked to Christine about it. I think she wants me to try that as well. Yeah, no snow. The 28 degrees is not worth it for no snow. I don't like to do much in the snow. I just like the snow. I think it looks pretty. I think my animal yard would look nice with a layer of snow on it. Yeah, I think the last time it really snowed here, well, that something actually stayed on the ground was probably like 2017 or 2018. Might have been like January of 2018. And then I think the time before that was probably 1991, 1992. Yeah, definitely do that because I think that's pretty smart. You definitely have to do a video on that. Maybe. You like me, like maybe not. Yeah. Um, I gotta figure out a brooding situation too. I typically brood large batches at a time, and I'm kind of switching to doing smaller color batches. So I have I have a few of them with heat plates right now because I mean I typically brood with heat lamps, but I am doing heat plates right now too. So I'm doing a little bit of both. Large batches for me, I would just have to have so many brooder plates. So I just do heat lamps and take precautions to not burn the place down. Yeah, I know. I always said I wouldn't really do too many colors, and here I am building more cages specifically for colors. I do like the colors. I like fees more than anything. Fees do really well with. Um, I just I enjoy playing with the fee. It's pretty. Egyptian fees probably my most favorite right now. I like pansy fee too, but Egyptian fee probably kind of has the root and the fee, so it really pops. I have several color projects going on right now. I don't. I plan on in the next few days updating my website with new colors being available for spring. Some different color celadons. I guess some rare ones. Adding a few colors that I've been having that I never really listed for sale on the website. Kind of been selling them here and there. Been throwing some rare colors in, some hinge choice and fun mixes. I kind of like that because it's a surprise. I'll get a message with pictures of the babies or the adults and people excited. So I do like that surprise option. So I'll probably hold some of those colors back just for that. I like every order to be special. It's kind of one of the main reasons why I enjoy selling quail eggs because the customer interaction and you know every every order we package we appreciate. So it's a nice thing. No guests tonight. Christina was possibly going to join, and she's cleaning up from our Christmas party now, so she's uh she's going to take a break tonight. I'll convince her to come on next week. Yeah, it kind of does look like the house too with the pansy feet. Definitely roll tide. Have a Merry Christmas, Dawn. I won't be back on until next Saturday, so it'll be we'll have a quiet Christmas here. We have our festivities out the way, so we'll have a quiet Christmas. Yeah, they are, and I think it's exciting that some if they ordered the fun I have like I call it the fun mix, which my fun mix is guaranteed to have celadons in it, and then the hinge choice is basically whatever I put in the box. So I think it's fun that they could hatch something that not many people have. It's rare and or could be more expensive other places that they'll get it at a discounted rate and not really know what they're getting, and they order it and they get it. So that's fun. And a few times that they'll get colors like that, and they'll message back and hey, can I have order some of these? So I'll do a special order like that. Saturday 28th. Yeah, it's kind of getting used to doing these live streams. 6 o'clock creeped up on me today. I tried taking a nap and ended up watching a movie and didn't take a nap, and I still have to go out and feed all these birds, and I have a ton of chicks in the brooders, tend to those things, and of course Christina's gonna be doing most of the work. But anybody has any special plans for the holidays? I know I know some of y'all in the north will be really cold. We try to do Christmas before Christmas, and we just kind of lay low for the actual holiday itself most of the time, unless it falls on a weekend. But then it usually interferes with my farming plans on the weekend. Steve, you jumping the gun. The cement video comes out after Christmas. It'll be sometime between Christmas and the next live stream. I might do a short, maybe a little teaser. I might post it the morning before the live stream. I'm not really sure. I have a few things. I actually have a list of videos I need to complete. I need to edit some things, and which Christina does the editing, but she's been prepping for the holiday stuff. So, holidays kind of crept up on us. Seems like just yesterday was November 1st, and here we are. We're coming up on January 1st. The greenhouse is not ready. We need to start seeds. I still need to put the new beds in, haul dirt, do dirt work back there. So it's like the clock's ticking, and I don't have enough time in the day, I believe, some days. I think my day job sometimes might get in the way of my farming, but I like both of them, so I just balance it. That's awesome, Carrie. It's I don't really like we do it before because I have 2 grown kids, so the grown kids live out on their own, and then of course, their partners, they have family Christmas, and we don't ever want to interfere with anything like that, so we do it early, and that way we don't have anybody on the road for Christmas, and we could just have a relaxing day because it's a day I'm off of work, so I could work in the quail barn. I'm sure it'll be poop tray day on Christmas Day, which I would take a Christmas present of no poop that day, but that won't happen. No, don't be on her bad side, because see this mouth right here. This mouth is always on her bad side, and it's not the best place to be. I can promise you. I have a habit of putting my foot in my mouth or getting myself in trouble, so I just try to zip it most of the time. Most of the time, but we all know me. All month long. That would be fun too. That's pretty exciting. Little celebrations all month long. We kind of we always celebrating something, so we celebrated and finishing with the cement project. That was a good celebration. I redid my automatic watering system for the quail. That was a celebration too. And yeah, waiting for one of the goats to have some babies. Should be in the next 2 weeks, I believe, something like that. According to my calendar, should be like the last week of the year, first week. She's starting to get big, so Hope so. Hope we could have some baby goats or some goat milk at least. Like goat milk. Might have to call it a Goat Pro Jasmine. Fingerless gloves would that that's a pretty awesome thing for someone who works with their fingers. It, I'm gonna get me a pair of fingerless gloves, and it's for the rare occasion when it's cold out and I have to collect eggs because with gloves I just probably wouldn't feel the eggs. I would probably crush eggs. I crush eggs barehanded, so that's awesome, Verna. A bunch of Christmases. Yep. So we usually try to jump in first, Steve, and would schedule first, and which everyone came and eat for lunch, and we stayed and celebrated, and then everyone left, and my daughter called a few hours later, and she wanted more food, so she came pick up more food right before I got on here, which that's cool. She only lives like 6 miles away, so it's not extremely far. I have to measure. Yeah, I think Christine has a sewing tape measure. I can measure. Let me make a note because my mind is like all over the place. I have so many projects going on right now that sometimes I lost. The reason why I'm wearing this hat right now is I lost my other hat I was wearing that was sitting on top of the computer. So, here I am. But I have socks on and I'm wearing a sweatshirt because it's cold. Which, Forum logo on my sweatshirt, really nice. Yeah, I could promise you that will happen at least twice. Like, yeah, I don't disagree. I misplace things all the time. Most of the time when I'm in the quail barn, I'll have my music on my phone. That way I can find my phone. And it helps. So that works. Which I'll probably I have to sort some birds. So once I get off of here, I'll sort birds this evening. That way I can work on the greenhouse tomorrow. I had a early night last night because I knew I would be awake early this morning cooking. But usually around this time of the year, we're really busy and trying to get everything form ready for the spring. We have new garden plans, and last year I think we kind of drifted off and maybe planted stuff that we really didn't need. We had a bunch of excess, and I think I say we, but I probably got out of hand planting cherry tomatoes, and we didn't harvest as many of them as we should have or could have, just because we had so many, and it got really hot really fast last year, and it was very overwhelming. And like some people they'll get like, mentally run down in the wintertime because of the darker, shorter, colder, dreary days. And for us, it's more of the summertime that it just, you walk outside at 6 a.m. and drenched in sweat. So, it's summertime is kind of our dark time. And, we spend most of the summer just trying to keep things alive because it gets so hot and humid that, then oh, she might want some food. So, we just spend most of our time just surviving in the summertime. I'm the tiniest dog in the house. It makes the most noise. She's like 11 years old, and she's very vocal. So we are gonna go back to our roots and plant the things that make us happy and the things that we actually use. Christina wants to put more trees in the ground, so we'll probably do for sure. She wants an avocado tree, so we kind of really don't want to move trees once they're established. So we are planning everything out, mapping it out. I actually was out in the yard this week with spray paint, kind of finding our spot of where we're going to put everything and something more permanent, because our original beds, we had just moved into the house, which we still had our personal belongings in boxes, and we were building garden beds because we were the first week of February, and what we built is what we used, and this year is the year to redo everything and put everything more permanent, which we didn't. We did raised beds, but we didn't have anything really permanent, and it was good enough for the time being, and now we're ready to establish and grow roots in the ground, and which we do have fruit trees, but we want to do more. And Christina has a really nice elderberry tree growing, or bush, or whatever. Look, we all know that I'm not the gardener, so I do whatever she tells me with that stuff. We are gonna plant more fruit trees and more things that we could preserve and store and actually use, and not just decorations. That's the goal, which usually we start out like that every year. And when we're looking at Christina's giving me she's giving me the eyes. So I plan a bunch of unnecessary stuff, and Christina just drops flower seeds everywhere, accidentally, of course. So Steve, what we do, any damaged vegetables and stuff like that, the animals get it. We don't plant anything really just for the animals. The sunflowers, we plant sunflowers for pollinators, and then I can't have sunflower seeds. Years ago, we would harvest the sunflower seeds and bake them and make sunflower seeds out of them, but now we feed them to the birds. We feed the sunflower seeds to the birds, which they enjoy that snack. Yeah, that's a plus. That's a win. I mean, you gotta start somewhere, and that's the starting point. And surprisingly, I have peppers on the plants I could harvest right now, because this is our only first real cold snap. So I still have peppers on the plants growing. I have Tabascos and jalapenos, whatever I didn't let the goats destroy in the garden, I have left. Which most of my more exotic peppers are in pots. That way we can move them to the greenhouse when we do have freezes. So all of that stuff is still, it's still growing and still growing fruit. Yeah, I have the goats on there right now. It's grass was about 4 foot tall, and now it's look like a desert. Goats eat a lot. She does grow a lot of edible flowers. We spend most of our time outside, so I don't blame her wanting something pretty to look at other than like a tomato or a pepper. So you say that, Steve. Let me tell you a little story about the bees. I originally got the bees, of course, because I wanted bees. Got bees because we always had pollination issues, and we weren't getting the amount of fruit we felt we should have been getting off of the plants because of lack of pollination. Like squash, Christina would go and self pollinate a lot of the time. So that's kind of the motivation to get the bees. We got the bees, and I thought they would end up in my garden. Nope. I'll get an occasional bee in my garden, but not my bees. Like my bees come up, which the beehives face the garden. They come up, over, and out and forage back there. So they don't really forage in the garden. I do have other pollinators, and I'll get an occasional bee in the garden. Like I just cut my grass, but once the clover start, I love clover honey because it's lighter and more fluid. So once the clovers start growing in my yard, I don't cut my grass. I just let the clovers take over and let the bees. Now I'll see the bees in my yard then, but in the garden they're really not there. And I had put a hive in the garden, but Christina did not like the bees in the garden because they would fly and they would buzz her and bump her, and so she really didn't care for it. And then the garden's open, and my grandson would play in the garden and run. So, kind of as a safety precaution, I moved that hive out of the garden. But we do have more now that we have everything established. We do have more native pollinators, and last year our pollination was a lot better than it was in the past. Because I mean, we started from dirt, and now we have living soil and a bunch of good bugs, and we don't use any kind of pesticide. So, with the good bugs come the bad bugs, but you have to give and take. And we always plant excess just to account for the bugs getting their portion of it, which is not a bad thing. Kelly, you made it. Hope you're feeling better. She does make some good soaps. Yeah. It's the flowers she drops everywhere. See, I think we do have some apples we could grow here. I think LSU Ag has modified some. I don't know if an apple tree for me would be worth it. I know we're gonna do avocado and some more citrus. I love citrus. So I mean, we do a lot of our own jellies and jams out of our citrus satsumas and stuff like that. But Christina, our fig tree, she harvested figs off of it, and she made fig preserve this year, and I absolutely love it. So it was great. Christina's in here commenting.
I'm commenting.
Yeah. 29. Yeah, you see 29 today, Monday you're gonna be 50, and then you see you're gonna get rain Tuesday. We'll get rain Wednesday. I think it'll be Wednesday after lunch, which is not too bad. I'll be looking to take a nap Wednesday after lunch, so not being at work, I'll be able to take a nap. Got the name of the website. I know I have it on my favorites on my phone. I could send you the link. They have tons of trees. That's actually where I'm going to order Christina's avocado tree, unless she allows me to take her to a nursery and get stuff. But usually when we go to a nursery, like it's a planned nursery, we have to pull a trailer there because we're going for one tree, and next thing you know, she's grabbing stuff, I'm grabbing stuff, and I guess it'd be the equivalent of somebody that's addicted to drugs or something. And we just like to plant things in the ground. See, I'm glad she's commenting on the plant knowledge.
Tree and a peach tree.
So she just told me we have a papaya tree and a peach tree to plant in the ground, which peach tree came from one of my friends who has since passed away. And he had started in a pot, and I think Christina up potted it, and she's been babying it so we could, you know, carry that on. And the papaya tree, one of our quail customers actually gave it to us. So that's another one that'd be exciting to grow. I got your text, Karen. Yeah, we don't really. I think there's one. And there's one that LSU Ag that's specific to our climate that we can grow. I'll have to do some research on that. Which LSU Ag does amazing things with the planting and stuff. And so y'all talking plant stuff, and I just do what Christina tells me. When she tells me to dig a hole for a tree, I I dig the hole for the tree. I help her with the um, layouts, but other than that, it's pretty Greek to me. I I do more of the quail stuff. She does the garden stuff. She's really good with that, which I think she's gonna be before we get really cold. Be trimming back some of her plants, and I'll have to move her rose bush because the emus apparently love to eat the leaves off of it, and this poor bush has been naked for several months now. It kind of looks like the top of my head, it's you got some stuff there, but it's not much. Yeah, the goats ate it first, and then it bounced back, and then the emus decided that it was the absolute best snack. So I'll have to move that poor guy where he could thrive somewhere. I mean, it was beautiful. It was many miniature roses, so it's a beautiful plant, but everything loves to eat it. I might have to try to eat it. Everybody else thinks it's good, so I might as well try it. I have a few mulberry trees. I can't wait for. We'll probably be able to harvest off of one mulberry tree this year. I actually volunteered in one of our raised beds. Christina dug it up, and I guess we moved this thing to the absolute best location in the yard, and this thing has quadrupled in size in a year. It's probably 20 feet tall right now, and it was probably 4 feet, 5 feet tall max. When we put it in, like I had to trim it, trim some of the bottom branches a few weeks ago because they were growing big. The base is probably 6 inches, so that's real exciting that we'll have good fruit off a real tree. Which on the backside we do have some wild mulberry trees that we could harvest if you willing to fight poison ivy and briar bushes and sure snakes and who knows what else is back there. It's a jungle, but I'll probably fence in some of that and let the goats eat the underbrush. That way we could take advantage of that and eat and harvest some of that. And have a lot of elderberry back there too. So we'll probably let the goats clear out the bottom underbrush so we're not, necessarily fighting all of the rest of that stuff because for whatever reason, goats love poison ivy. Weirdest thing ever. Poison ivy is pretty rough. See, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes around here, Steve. I've been waiting for you to come visit. I do have an extra shovel available. I have an extra rake available. And whatever other garden tools I do not have, I will go out and purchase just so you could help me. I'll even get you a squeegee. You can help push poop whenever you want to come visit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the 10-gallon fabric pots are nice. Didn't you give some away a while back, Christina, on a Facebook giveaway? Yeah, we had some of those that Christina gave away on a Facebook giveaway. It was those are pretty nice. I want to try potatoes in them one year. That way I could just dump them out. Probably be easier to harvest. Which we do have potatoes in a raised bed right now that were actually looking pretty good. Yeah, I don't understand, Verna. Like they absolutely love it. Like if you turn them loose and you have just like green grass and poison ivy or poison oak, they're going to the poison ivy and poison oak first. Mother Nature. Mother Nature does strange things. Yeah, no, Steve. But then we can hang out. So I mean, it wouldn't be bad either. You know, you could show up after the work's done. I mean, I've seen your cooking skills, so maybe you could cook and I'll work. That, that's a good deal. I'll set some quail aside for you to grill for us. You and Lane. Unfortunately, Verna, you are 100% correct. We are never done. I think the last 2 or 3 days, me and Christina have worked every available minute around getting ready for the party and just things we were behind on. And a lot of the times you kind of get caught up doing other things and push the stuff that's not so important, push it back in line. And usually when we have an event or something like that, and we come together and we can knock out a ton of projects really quick between the two of us when we have a deadline. Like when it's crunch time, Christina on my side, we get a ton of stuff done. And that'll probably be how the greenhouse is, and that'll probably be how the garden beds get finished, and story of my life. Um, Kind of how the concrete got finished. You know, upcoming deadline and last possible second, and then all of a sudden, here we are. We have to do this, and then find ourselves working till midnight and completing the project and celebrate that we're done when we could have stretched it over a couple weeks and got it done. Not necessarily, you know, put so much stress on ourselves, but I think we enjoy it. Probably. I mean, we always do it. So the greenhouse, which I'll finish the greenhouse tomorrow. The projects I have to do for that. That way she can start seeds. I think she's gonna start the pepper seeds inside in her little hydroponic, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's a top with lights and hydroponics on the bottom, whatever. And I don't foresee us getting any like super cold. I thought about possibly putting like some kind of maybe possibly a wood burning stove or something in the greenhouse to warm it up if we got really cold. But I don't think we will. I mean, it's all glass, so it's not really insulated and double pane glass, but it's not really insulated, so it'll get cold at night. But last year we had that one spell of cold, and I don't think it got the freezing in the greenhouse. It got cold in the greenhouse, but by the time the sun would come up, it would still be above freezing, and then it would warm right up because we get morning sun in the greenhouse most of the day sun, so it would build up enough temperature where it would hold it at least where it wouldn't drop below freezing in our climate. I know some other people might be different. I thought about possibly putting some rabbits in there to add some warmth, but it's another project, and I already have a couple pages of projects. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we plan out things and have a well thought out plan, and something comes up and we have to put it on the back burner and continue on and just keep on going, and then you have some kind of farm tragedy, goats escaping, goats getting their heads caught in the fence, and you know quail water system failure. I mean, it's dogs getting in the brooder stall. I mean, you know, I have probably my list of farm tragedies is longer than my list of projects. I can promise you that. I mean, it's always something. I mean, you just have to just keep moving forward. Any amount of progress daily is progress, and that's really the most important part. If you're moving forward, it doesn't matter if it's a step at a time. And that's what I always tell people. Like anything, if you plant one tomato plant and last year you didn't have any tomato plants, you're making progress. If you harvest one tomato and last year you harvested zero, you're making progress. It doesn't. You can't really measure someone else's progress to yours. It's your progress is your progress, and that's the hardest part because I mean, I guess we're guilty of it as well. You see a lot of these farmers and homesteaders posting, and they post all the glamorous stuff, and the truth is when you're farming and you're growing stuff, and I mean, it's not always glamorous. There's poop involved, and there's wet poop, and there's tragedies, and there's wind blowing all your plants over, and bugs taking over your plants. It's not everything is always pretty and pristine, and that's you know that's the downside of social media. And like I said, I'm guilty of it as well. We'll post all the good stuff. I'm not gonna post that. I lost 6 tomato plants because the wind blew and I didn't have them tied down properly. I post a pretty picture of all the beautiful tomato plants with the beautiful tomatoes on it. And the truth is that farming is absolutely ugly and it is hard. I mean, it truly is. it's it's a daily thing, and I mean, you have to work at it every day. It's my only vacation is going to QuailCon, and I enjoy myself there, but I'm a nervous wreck to what's going to happen when I'm not here. So it's, I guess, if you're passionate about it, you really care, and you always worry about what could happen. Even though it's probably not going to happen, it still could happen. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the weird person. Anyway, I kind of veered off quite a few times, but it's okay. Um, yeah, we have thermometers in the greenhouse, and we kind of we measure the temps, and we never dropped below freezing. We got cold, low 30s, but nothing ever froze. So that's a good part. We don't get enough continuous below freezing weather here, but we still get cold enough where we do need the greenhouse if you want early season tomatoes. And if we didn't care about that, then we really wouldn't need the greenhouse. And usually by February, the greenhouse is a garden storage shed the rest of the year. So like from Christmas to February, it's used as a greenhouse. The rest of the time, it's a garden storage shed. I mean, you know, it's nice to have. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll all be surprised. Oh, thank you. It's you know, absolutely try. It's not always perfect. Life's not always perfect. I really enjoy helping people, and I mean, I hope some of my knowledge could help someone. I mean, I enjoy answering questions and possibly saving people trouble from some of my past mistakes that I've had, which I've made a lot, raising quail in the beginning. I really didn't know anything. I didn't know where to turn. Internet wasn't really like a super big thing, and it wasn't for me. So, and, I mean, I googled like how to raise a quail, but it was all bob white information and not Copernicus. And I raised bob whites, but Copernicus was always my passion. So I've made a ton of mistakes. Like, I, sadly, I've killed a lot of quail, not knowing what I was doing, and I always said I would never want anybody to experience that. So I just feel like I want to help everyone. So anytime somebody has a question, regardless if someone else would think it's silly, I answer it because I don't want to see anyone else have that struggle and possibly just get discouraged and not want to do it, So that's kind of my driving force. Again, another rant. Yeah, where there's livestock, there's dead stock. And that's life. Shut down. We're about to get bunk beds. Okra, tomatoes, and corn. I can promise you, every single time I plant them, some freak windstorm comes out, lays them down. Every single time. I stake them, I tie them, I lose them. No matter how hard I try, I lose them. I always plant extra. A lot of times it comes back and it bites me that I have too much, and because I planned on losing some and I didn't, and it's overwhelming. So I'll get overwhelmed sometimes that I lose too much. Then I'll get overwhelmed sometimes that I didn't lose enough. And there's never like just a happy medium at all. With quail, sometimes I'm gonna hatch out 50 eggs because I need 30 chicks. I'll have 10 or I'll have 45. I'll never have like the perfect. It's never ever the way you plan it. So now I'll just hatch out 100 and see where it goes. Hey Charles, thanks for stopping by. Got to talk to you today on the phone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I wish it was easy though. I wish everyone would do it. You realize that if everyone had a few chickens and would grow a small garden, that this entire country would have to change the way it does stuff. Um, we shouldn't have a commercial egg industry at all. We should not. It should be. I mean, if you had 3 chickens in your backyard, you could sustain your family. I mean, and if you eat more eggs, guess what? Get a few more chickens. You'll be fine. I mean, it's that's a topic for another discussion. Yeah, Vern had a good live this morning. I was listening to it mostly while I was cooking. Usually I'm always on Verna's lives, and a lot of times I just like to listen. Usually I'm sorting quail on Saturday mornings and listening to it. So, like when I rewatch a live stream, I always get annoyed because I find myself trying to comment and trying to be in the conversation, and it's happened hours ago. And I try to keep up, and I do enjoy the way our community all supports each other. That's truly a good thing we have with our community. Everyone supports everyone, and we all share information, share knowledge, and I think it's a good thing the way we do it. And Verna has so much knowledge on all kinds of different aspects of homesteading. I mean, I think I learn something every time she has a live stream. Yeah, Amy, probably my first 20 batches were sacrificial. I mean, I still make mistakes. It's, I mean, I think it's a common thing, and just people don't talk about it all the time. And I'll tell you, I still make mistakes. I'll set brewers at wrong temperatures, and I mean, it happens. Sad, but I mean, it still happens. Like, I mean, I guess it's life. Back to Verna's comment, you're gonna have some dead things around. Yeah, that's the best thing. Absolutely. I mean, like sharing garden knowledge, and I think over the last few years, there's been a lot more people getting into gardening, and a lot of younger people looking to do it, and which is an exciting thing. And rather than discourage them, it's better for us that does have some of the knowledge and some of the experience. It's better for us to help them, and help people grow, because I mean, having your neighbor to grow tomatoes, and you grow tomatoes and something happens to yours and you help them along, that neighbor will give you tomatoes and you'll still have your tomatoes. So that's a good thing. Just be a good neighbor, be a good person. I mean, especially this time of the year, it's holiday season. Awesome. It, it's I still get excited about hatches. I still get excited watching them come out the shell. It, I don't think it'll ever get old for me. Yeah, we just finished that. It was a nightmare, replacing and butchering, and it's uh it's tough work sorting. You can develop a good breeding program, and you're trying to meet standards, and you're trying to select for different things. So it's tough. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a I'm a dreamer. Absolutely am. Definitely a big dreamer. Hey Dale, hope y'all staying safe and warm. Huh, a few, a few. It's a lot. Probably more than I want to have right now. But you know, yeah, it's a circle of life. Hey Mason, hope you're feeling a little better. Seeing you was under the weather. I'm sure you are eating probably something good without me, because every time I go there, there's nothing to eat. It's actually cold here. Well, I was outside before I came on, so and I lost my hat, so I ended up with this guy. It's a hat. It's time for a haircut, so I need to wear a hat. So I'm festive. It's homesteading and holiday chat. Festive. Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better soon. It's going around. I know quite a few people are that are under the weather right now, and it seems like it's hard to shake. Yeah, Robert and Dale are at work right now. I work with Robert and Dale, and they're big supporters, always supporting stuff, that we do. Robert comes by and visits and gives me a hand whenever I need. So that's real nice. I appreciate them stopping by, taking the time out of their day. See, I mean, it is festive, huh? It's actually pretty comfortable. Keeps my head warm. I don't have much hair there, so kind of keeps me warm. Chirping sound is nice, except for when you have too many baby chicks and you put them in some totes in your bathroom that's connected to your bedroom, and they chirp all night long. I almost lost my wife out of the bed the other night, so I relocated them. Sitting down, figure that. Yeah, there's just some little balls in there. They should have some bells, but then I move around so much, it'd be probably more annoying than a quail chicks peeping. So I don't know. I don't even know whose hat this belongs to in my house. Oh, it's Lane's hat. So it fits my big head, which is odd. Let's see. Your hatching time incubator, what is it doing, Mason? That's probably one of the most reliable incubators on the market. I would say hatching time is better than GQF incubators. Hatching time cages, the absolute best way to fix them is to not use them. But it's my opinion. I just don't have a good experience with them. Yeah, I don't wear earrings, so. Hey, PJ, I'm glad you stopped by. Lane, he's trying to have conversations with his mom while I'm doing this live stream. Oh, it's not good. Are your fans on? That's not a good thing at all. Because either you have to jack it up where your bottom temperatures or within the tolerance, but then your upper eggs will probably start hatching before. So that is not a good thing. Steve, I'm bringing this to QuailCon, just so you know. You have hatching time cages or an incubator, PJ? I tried to like them. They're plastic, cleanable. You would think it would be more sanitary, but the poop just doesn't go through the bottom. I actually don't have much trouble with the water system, as I hear other people have trouble with the water system. But I can't, even standards, I can't keep the poop. It's good for the weeds to grow through. I would say burn them, but plastic. PJ, you went all out. Cages, brooder, and cages. See, I don't have trouble with the water system. Water system has never let me down. Knock on wood. But The just I have just small groups of standards in there, and you have to just go and scrape the poop off the bottom so you could open it back up. If not, it's just like one big poop slip and slide. And someone said that they came out with a new flooring system or whatever, and I don't know. I just won't invest any money in that. So you do have an incubator, which I mean, they're like I said, their incubators are probably the best on the market. Really, the only complaints I've heard. It's funny. Hatching Time just sent me an email. The only complaints I heard about them is people saying that the window's too small or the ones without the window. I'm like, it's whatever. I don't really care to see inside the incubator. I like to see inside the hatcher to see the chicks, but I mean that's not a necessity. It's a preference. Well, those can be easily replaced. I have some of those. Yeah, I had a few bumblefoot issues with them. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's personal preference. I mean, I know some people that have absolutely no complaints about them, and that's fine too. I have a ton of Winolas. I have a bunch of homemade ones, and I got some from Thieving Out a Farm with which I absolutely love those. Those are pretty good. They're tall. They're really tall, which is you could put more quail in a smaller footprint, and space is always a big concern for me. So I definitely think that's the direction I'm going to go. Yeah, you can. After you microwave for several years and keep it, you can. Mason, you know who I'd probably ask about that? Probably Carrie would have some good information. Carrie Blackman. I think Carrie has good information about everything. Yeah, Carrie's a very knowledgeable guy. Yeah, be that. Yeah, see, that's another option. Like I think, I mean, again, I'll stand by it and say it's one of the most reliable incubators out on the market today. You know, aside from something commercial, GQF is a great one as well. I'm not a fan of any kind of clear dome incubator. Just not a fan of it at all. See, told you, Carrie knows. No, the link didn't post Carrie, but I could get that for him. Yeah, compressed air is one of the best ways to clean a fan. You really want to watch how you wipe a fan because the blades are really delicate on most of those fans. You don't want to break one, then it'll be off balance and not good. Yeah. I've had trouble with both. I think more would be floor tension has a lot to do with leg injuries and feet injuries. Floor tension. If it bouncing around, then they'll be more prone to foot issues. Um, and also, if depending on the way it's dipped, like sometimes you'll have like droplets of galvanized that'll harden, and it might not seem sharp and it'll be sharp on their feet. And all it takes is, I mean, they're basically walking on bacteria. So all it takes is one little cut, and then an infection will get in, and that's how it begins. Yeah, see, community coming together. See, that's what I was told, Carrie, but I just can't see investing money for a maybe. You know, maybe it might fix the problem.
What problem is it? You could just come with that.
Yeah, I mean, it should just come with that flooring. I don't understand that you shouldn't have to specify. You know, I want jumbo flooring. DIY is better because you're building something to fit your space and your absolute needs. And there's tons of plans out there to build your cages. And I mean, the biggest recommendation I tell people when they are building their own cage is purchase your poop trays first, build your cage around your poop tray. That way you don't have any gaps, or your poop tray is not too big. Because if you build your cage, then you're trying to hunt down a poop tray to fit something specific that is customized. If you buy your poop trays first, then you can build your cage around your poop trays, and it's so much better. Because I don't want to tell you how many times I built a cage. It is great. Let me find me a poop tray, and I find a poop tray that is 6 inches too small, 6 inches too big. It's just, you know, this a little bit of advice. Poop trays first if you're going to DIY. Yeah, I was talking about I like the hatching time incubators. Any kind of clear dome incubator I don't care for. Nurturite 360. You know, and it just, I mean, how are you going to hold heat in through, you know, thin acrylic? It won't. So then you got to worry about your room temperature and your room humidity, and it's just stability is the most important thing in incubating, because I've seen, you know, not so great humidity range and temperature range, but it was stable the entire time and successful hatch rates. I'm done. I'm gonna do a video this week, sometime this week, but you'll have to come visit me this weekend. Yeah. I have a ton of white oils. I don't have any Dales cages. But I've seen them enough, and they work well. And actually, I don't know what he does with the wood, but the wood holds up. I have people that have them that's been having them for several years outside and no rot issues or anything like that. So I don't know what he does, but he does it and it works. I do like the thieving otter form 5 tiers. It's affordable, and I mean they work. I really don't have any issues with it. Yeah, Mason, I expected a assembly video out of you, but I didn't get it. 5 years is not a bad. Yeah, they'll last you. Oh, you're gonna start asking questions after I'm an hour in, huh? So, yeah. So, typically what I do is I collect for a few days, put in the incubator. I don't hatch necessarily everything I have. So when I'm hatching a color, I'll save those eggs and play around with it. 7 days seems like the best. You could do 10, you lose some viability. Then you put them in the incubator. They're gonna turn for 2 weeks. We're talking quail here, because really, chickens are chickens, and most people know how I feel about that. So we take them out the turner. You could candle or not candle. I don't candle. I drop them in. I'll candle if I'm a new batch or something that I want to check fertility, like in lockdown space. Then you're gonna put them in what's called lockdown, raise the humidity, and they'll usually start hatching a couple days after that. It's kind of like I'd say about 2.5 days. Technically, it's 17 days, so it would be 3 days after you lock them down, but it's like 2.5 for me and my temperatures. Yeah, Berna answered it. This week, Mason. This week. I said last week, I said it would be this week, but I had a few rough days. Yeah, that makes sense, Charles. If you're building your own trays, then yeah, you could customize. Yeah, I built some of my own poop trays too. I just know, like, when I first started, like, I was out there and I really didn't have, I didn't have any help, so I had to figure things out, and I did a lot of things wrong, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I cost myself a lot of money by making those mistakes, and some of the things I just had to live with and replace and improve things over time. And as I learned, and one of the things I learned was, if you're not going to build your poop tray, get your poop tray first. A lot of people use the oil pans from like Napa, O'Reilly, and stuff like that. If you want to prolong those, you can go to Walmart, get some truck bed liner spray, coat it with that, and it'll prolong it. Because the quail poop will eat up any kind of metal. That's why if you can get plastic trays, they'll last a heck of a lot longer. Yeah, you probably just need to tighten them up. Yeah, I used those oil drip trays. They perfect size. And Berna, the dog crate trays, they actually more sturdy and they're plastic. Yeah, they do well. I don't think any company out there is absolutely perfect. Kind of just got to choose. Hatching Time has good support. I don't like the flooring. That's it. Yeah. But the only downside of Winola is the time it takes. But they build a cage as it's ordered. Mason. Can't even with you tonight. Yeah, empty feed bags. You just pull it out and you could throw them out. Well, I'm gonna drop you a hint here. A couple gallons of gray paint would really help me out. If you know a person, I know a person. So, a couple gallons of some Battleship Gray or Haze Gray would perfect. Yeah. Dale came out with a 5-tier that's not quite as tall. I saw it at QuailCon. Looks pretty nice. And like I said, some people kind of shy away from the wood and wire cage, but I I have a friend that's local to me that's been having a Dale's cage for several years, and it is outside, is uncoated, is just raw wood, and he don't have a hinge issue, he don't have a rod issue, he don't have anything, any issues with it. And so I mean, I don't know. I know he sources his wood personally. It's not like a big box store wood, so I don't know what he does with it. He doesn't. I don't know. He does something with it because it holds up, and I mean, so he uses his cages for his own quail, which he feeds his family with his quail. So he doesn't. I mean, it sure was a trial and error thing for him to find the right hardware that stands up to time because some big doors on the cage and everything holds up. And I mean, I've seen his system on where he builds his cages with his jigs and stuff like that, and he has it going on. And again, so he builds cages for a living or supplements his income, and he shares information. I asked him, Dale, where's the best place to get wire? He sent me, So I mean, it's nice that everybody's helpful. Yeah, I mean, look, we all learn. We all started somewhere, and none of us are in the same spot as when we started. We all learned something. I mean, learn something every day. It's always a good thing to learn. Think when you think you know it all, that is when you're absolutely wrong. No, I need Haze gray paint, 2 gallons. No water seal. Not a fan of water seal. Water seal is not great unless you know 100% the wood is dry, because you're gonna seal the moisture in, and it'll rot from the inside, and you won't know until it falls apart. Yeah, empty feed bags. Throw you a few pine shavings in the empty feed bag, and quick and easy cleanup. I think he would need to maybe do that. That would probably be helpful. Which I need to do more rabbit cages after I said I wouldn't add any more rabbit cages. And I'm going to put 4 more up. Never say never, because the chances of you doing it is very high. Yeah, that makes sense. Hold it in place. Yeah, he's talked to me several times, and we talked about it. And I mean, he is very particular in his wood, because I mean, if you buy wood to build cages, and he's about quality. So if you buy some wood and there's some bad wood in it, then he spent money and couldn't make any money off of it. So they're losing money. Then doing any kind of farming stuff. I mean, y'all know any rich quail farmers? Because I don't. I mean, profit margin is so low. So I mean, you have to just, mistakes are very costly doing any kind of thing like this. Yeah, that's true. That's the hardest part of like taking something like the 5 tier is the height of it, the height from the cage height from quail to rabbits. There are a lot of people that raise quail in rabbit hutches, but you really can't. A true quail cage with a lower cage height, you really can't put a rabbit in there. Sure, you can modify something if you're handy. I like my hanging rabbit cages. On my project list, I have to add 4 more cages, but that'll have to get done sooner rather than later. Probably in the next couple weeks. I just like, those cages are in stands, and for me, the hanging rabbit cages, because we do collect the manure, so hanging rabbit cages work better for me. I just shovel it out. I don't have any catch pans for my rabbits, which I had in the past. I had a huge funnel system going down to one of those plastic kiddie swimming pools, and we would empty that out into a wheelbarrow and haul it straight to the garden. But we had gotten rid of all our rabbits and recently started back up with rabbits beginning of the year. So took everything down for the rabbits, all the infrastructure, and started back. I have 5 rabbit cages now. I'm gonna add 4 more into the mix, and that's it. So on recording, I'm not adding any more. Write it down. That is it. 9 rabbit cages and no more. Then I'll end up with 5 more and 5 more and 5 more, and yeah. Only wanted 2 goats. A dozen quail. But here we are. Our first garden bed years ago was a 4 foot by 8 foot garden bed. Yeah, the 1.5, the 1 by 1 by 1/2 is much better. The actual, and then you could buy the rolls of the rabbit wire with a baby saver, where the bottom half is I think it's 1 by 1/2 on the bottom part of the wall wire where the babies can't get out. And I had some cages without it, and I had some babies that got out. Pink Pen Steve. Yeah, I mean, I like the goats. They don't really bother me. I wanted goats. Christina said we were not getting goats, so we have goats. Yeah. So when she says she wants a plant, I'll just say, okay, whatever you want, babes. Us too. If she stops pooping in the nest box and starts pulling some fur any day now, would probably be good. We have one litter that they probably have a few weeks left, and I'll maybe try to convince Lane to let me butcher them. It's his rabbits. Mm-hmm. Lane saying no, but when he gets hungry, he'll say yes. Maybe. Yeah, that 1/2 on the bottom of the quail cage is the best. Some experience. Yeah, I could use some 1/4 inch. I have a few projects on the list. I want to put the bob whites in the aviary. We'll plan on that this weekend. Yeah, milking goats. I can't wait. Yeah, Jasmine has so many goats. So many. And like I just love the way I think she's actually slept in her kidding barn waiting for goats to deliver. She is dedicated. I'm sleeping in my bed. Yeah, 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is pretty predator proof. Mice can't get through 1/4 inch. All my waters, I have the water cups. They are all on the outside of my cages. So I need at least one side that I use the 1x2 so they can reach their little heads through. At least one of them. Yeah. PJ has dairy goats. I need some Zebu cattle. I would probably give them the goats for them. Bring them on over. Dale, come pick one up. I got a friendly one for you. I got two for you. Yeah, they're like a friend. You say that. I say no a lot of the times. And around here, the word no means yes most of the time.
That only applies to you.
Oh, it only applies to me, Christina says. Yeah, goats actually down here, and that's what took me so long because years ago when we had goats, they were like $50 to $100, and that's kind of what the market was. And now, for some reason, people think these mutt goats are worth like $300 and $400. So I was like, I'm not paying that much for a goat. I want one. I don't need one. But the local price deal is very high for goats. But I have something extra. Yeah, well, I'll shoot her a little text message. I know people. Yeah. So I'm a comment on your last one. Your yard is fenced in. Goats are tricky. Very, very tricky. When you think you have them secure, nope. Not hard water. Good luck with that. And thanks for stopping in, Amy. I could do that. Could just send goat pictures. Dale, just bring your kids over and they can play with the goats. Yeah, that is true. A lot of these herd animals, they do prefer um, companions. I think it was probably back in 2012. I had a Nubian goat that I drove to Nashville, Tennessee to pick up for my daughter for 4-H, and it lived with a beagle. They were friends, but she screamed all the time. Yeah. PJ, absolute best comment ever. If a fence can't hold water, it can't hold a goat. So I had originally, when I got the original pair of goats we have, I had some fancy aluminum fencing with the vertical square tubings that was like 4 inches apart, and I'm like, this is solid. Posts every 6 foot. Like, these goats cannot get out of here. Well, guess what? They got out. Didn't know how. So I took some 2-inch by 4-inch wire and I put it on top. Like, these things are jumping over a 4-foot fence, which they're known they can jump. They don't always, but they can. So I did that. They were still getting out. These suckers were horns and everything, squeezing through these bars, getting the bars to flex open and just getting through, eating Christina's mimosa tree, eating Christina's rose bushes, eating pretty much everything. Except for elephant ears. The goats don't eat elephant ears. I don't know why. They just don't. They'll eat everything around it and will not touch an elephant ear. Maybe they know it's poisonous, because I think there's like a white sap in there that is poisonous to animals. I'm not the gardener, so
It's cost.
yeah. Well, they were living in the same cage together, the goat and the beagle was very mischievous, and he would actually chew through the cyclone fence. Then him and the goat would get out. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Best comment ever. That's right. Um, my goats are on pasture. Yeah, just get with me. You know how to get in touch with me. Well, I'm at an hour and 30, and I still have some barn work to do. And I have a little boy who wants to come help me collect eggs. So, thank everyone for stopping by. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Um, oh, no, we'll see them before New Year. Yeah, next Saturday. Yeah. So, for now, just a Merry Christmas because we'll see you before New Year. And next Saturday, I'll have two guests with me. I'll have Christina and Lane. So stop by and say hi. And if you want anyone needs anything, you guys know how to get in touch with me. If it's questions, hatching eggs, eating eggs, whatever you need, someone to vent to, yeah, just call me. So yeah, next Saturday is the 28th. I'll do a little bit better. I was kind of late. I think I didn't create the live stream till yesterday afternoon, and I didn't share it out till this morning. I was a little late on it, so I'll do better about it next week. The end of this week just caught up with me. I was extremely busy, and for work, just kind of with the holiday stuff. Yeah, Dale and Robert, y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, so it just kind of got to me at the end of this week and with work and homework. So yeah, everyone have a Merry Christmas and not a Happy New Year, Lane. You can tell them Happy New Year next week. Yeah, Merry Christmas and thank you everyone for stopping by. If you have any questions, anything, feel free to reach out and we'll see you next time.